The next morning, at the Hummer estate, as the wealthiest man in Swinton, Edwin Hummer was leisurely sipping tea with a gaunt old man. "Master Lawson, it's such a pity this time. That woman was too alert. She left before the drug could take effect. Otherwise, I would have had her by now," Edwin Hummer said regretfully. "Mr. Hummer, don't worry. The drug I gave her can't be countered. If she doesn't want to die, she'll have no choice but to come begging you. By then, you can enjoy her however you please." Lawson Fletcher chuckled. "Really? That's perfect." Edwin's eyes lit up. He had been lusting after Natasha Harmon, a beautiful rose with thorns, for a long time. Just thinking about playing with such a stunner in bed made his heart race uncontrollably. "Mr. Hummer." At that moment, a bodyguard approached and whispered a few words in Edwin's ear. "What? Trevor Spanner is dead?" Edwin's face darkened instantly. "Who did it? Who dared to touch my man?" Trevor Spanner was his right-hand man, responsible for handling shady business on his behalf. Now, his sudden death was a significant blow. "I heard it was his adopted son, Mason Spanner. That guy was in a rush to climb up the ranks, so he killed him," the bodyguard reported. "Mason Spanner?" Edwin narrowed his eyes. "That kid is that ruthless? He didn't even spare his foster father?" "Mr. Hummer, I suspect there's more to this than meets the eye," Mr. Lawson said with a suspicious look. "Oh? What have you discovered, Master Lawson?" Edwin raised an eyebrow. "Yesterday, Trevor called me. He wanted help dealing with someone connected to President Hunter Anderson. I was planning to ask him more about it today, but he died too soon." Lawson stroked his beard. "So you think that person killed Trevor?" Edwin quickly caught on. "Very likely." Lawson nodded. "If that person is linked to Hunter Anderson, this isn't going to be simple." Edwin rubbed his chin, deep in thought. All his focus was currently on the Harmon family. If he got entangled with Hunter Anderson at the same time, and the two sides joined forces, even Edwin would have to tread carefully. "If you want to avoid trouble, I have an idea," said Lawson. "I'm listening." "Trevor had an older brother, Travis Spanner, right? I heard he's stationed in the Western WARZONE and holds the rank of Deputy General. If we tell him about Trevor's death, we can just sit back and watch the chaos unfold." Lawson smiled meaningfully. "Brilliant!" Edwin's eyes gleamed. "With Travis Spanner paving the way, I can kill two birds with one stone." Meanwhile, at the Allure Group office, Dahlia Nicholson had just sat down when her secretary Lyra knocked and entered. "President Nicholson! Something big just happened." "What now?" Dahlia tensed. "I just heard there was a murder at the Dre Group. Trevor Spanner is dead." Lyra blurted out. "What? Trevor Spanner is dead?" Dahlia froze, barely able to believe it. That was Trevor Spanner they were talking about, the underground king of East City, a man who straddled both legal and illegal circles. How could someone like him just die, especially after they had just seen him yesterday? "I don't know the full details, but word is already spreading," Lyra said, then lowered her voice. "President Nicholson, do you think it could be related to Dustin?" "Dustin?" Dahlia pressed her lips together. "That's unlikely. He might be good in a fight, but I doubt he has the guts to kill someone." "I wouldn't be so sure." Lyra shook her head. "A cornered dog will jump over a wall. Trevor wasn't going to let things slide after his son got crippled. Dustin might have struck preemptively to protect himself." Dahlia frowned slightly. If that were true, it wasn't impossible. Actually, it might be a good thing that Trevor's dead. At least we can stop looking over our shoulders. In that sense, Dustin might have done us a favor," Lyra said with a smile. "I'm afraid it's not that simple." Dahlia's face turned serious. "Trevor was so bold and untouchable because he had a powerful backer. That backer is our real problem." "A backer? Who?" Lyra asked in surprise. "The head of Swinton's three giants, Edwin Hummer," Dahlia replied. "What? Mr. Hummer?" Lyra's eyes went wide like she'd seen a ghost. Everyone knew that Edwin Hummer ruled all of Swinton. Trevor was merely the kingpin of East City. Edwin was the true underground emperor, someone with influence in business, politics, and even the military. Crossing him was worse than death. "President Nicholson, please don't tell me Mr. Hummer is going to get involved in this too?" Lyra swallowed hard. "It's hard to say. Trevor was his man. Now that Trevor's suddenly dead, Hummer will definitely launch an investigation. If Dustin's really behind it, things could get ugly. Dahlia said gravely. Even so, that's Dustin's problem, right? It has nothing to do with us. Lyra asked hesitantly. That depends on how Hummer sees it. If he believes we're involved, no one will be safe. Dahlia replied. Ah? Lyra panicked instantly. She had managed to stay calm while facing Trevor, but if she had to deal with Edwin Hummer, she might not even be able to stand upright. President Nicholson, should we ask young Master Nolan for help? Maybe he can get Chairman Anderson to mediate. I've already owed Chris Nolan too many favors. I don't want to bother him again. Dahlia shook her head slightly. Then what do we do? If Mr. Hummer comes after us, we're finished. Lyra said with a grimace. Don't panic. I'm a partner in the Harmon family now. Once the new company is officially established tomorrow, we'll be under their protection. Hummer shouldn't push things too far. Dahlia said. You're right. The Harmon family. Lyra's face lit up. As long as the grand opening goes smoothly and we make the announcement, we'll be under the Harmon banner. No one will dare touch us. All their hopes now rested on the Harmon family. At dusk, in front of the Spanner family villa, with a loud rumble, a fleet of military jeeps arrived in force. At the front of the convoy flew a flag marked with the bold characters, Western Warzone. As the jeeps came to a halt, rows of fully armed soldiers disembarked. An intense, deadly atmosphere spread in all directions. General, we've arrived! An adjutant saluted the lead vehicle. The door opened a moment later. A tall, burly man in military uniform stepped out, his aura powerful, his gaze sharp. This was the Deputy General of the Western Warzone, Travis Spanner. Uncle! You're finally here! At that moment, the villa gates slowly opened. Edward Spanner, dressed in mourning, limped out with help from two others. Take me to the body, Travis said coldly. Edward didn't dare speak much and immediately led the way. Inside the living room, a coffin sat near the entrance. Inside it, Trevor Spanner lay with eyes closed, dead. What happened? Why did your father suddenly drop dead? Travis clenched his jaw, his face terrifyingly dark. Trevor was his only brother. His sudden death left him furious and grief-stricken. It was Mason Spanner. That ungrateful bastard killed him, Edward accused. Mason? He's just an illegitimate son. How could he have the ability? Travis narrowed his eyes. Of course not. He must have colluded with outsiders. He's trying to seize power, Edward said bitterly. Did your father have any enemies recently? Travis asked. He had many, but they were all small fries, Edward replied. So, in the end, you know nothing at all? Travis frowned. My father died so suddenly, I was caught off guard. Useless. You're worse than an illegitimate son. Travis snorted and barked an order. Men! Investigate this. I don't care what methods you use, even if you have to turn Swinton upside down. Find me the killer.
And just can't accept it. This can't be the end yet. You promised to never leave, and now you're gone. Can't believe I can feel the world slipping away as you slowly fade from my everyday. You promised forever a love without end, but now